Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video on my channel. I am your host, Morrigan, and today we are going to be reacting to Shoe on Head's video, which was made about a month ago, called The Insane World of Child Dating Apps. So I put out a poll a little while ago between J Daddy School of Scum Part 2 or doing the Shoe on Head child dating app video, and the J Daddy School of Scum won the vote, and I promised all my Shoe on Head fans that I would finally get around to this video. Now the main thing with this video is I haven't watched a Shoe on Head video on the channel, I think since my third video on the channel. So it's been a long time. It's been close to a year since I've watched a Shoe on Head video. So this is going to be very interesting. I love Shoe's content. It's just I haven't reacted to a lot of her content for a while. So today we're going to be reacting to majority of this video because I think by a certain point we'll kind of get the idea of everything. But I do want to just say as like a few announcements before I get into the reaction. First and foremost, I am going to be having a new streaming border soon within the next few weeks, as well as some custom emotes. Now, as of right now, those emotes are only planned to be on my Discord server until I can find a way to incorporate them on my YouTube or Twitch. And if that has to do with memberships, well then I'm still a ways off before I can implement memberships onto the channel. But they will be implemented into the Discord. So if you have any interest in using those, do go to the Discord and join, and I will be sure to have those up soon, and I'll be sharing them on my X as well once I fully get everything from the artists that I have commissioned to do both of those things. I'm also still floating around the idea of doing merch at some point. Ultimately, I think right now I'm looking at a subscriber goal closer to 300 before I really take that step into getting merch, because as much as I would love to have merch, I need a little bit more of a following before I can do that. I think it's a little ambitious to do that now. With all of those announcements out of the way with, let's get right into the reaction.
Ho ho ho! It is I, a jolly elf from the North Pole, here to do Santa's bidding. Let's see if you are on the nice or naughty list this year, huh? Oh, that is a interesting internet history. Naughty list. Hell even. But don't you worry.
You know, Shu, I can't really argue with that. I mean, I am a succubus after all, from the demon world. So, you know, you caught me. You caught me. Although I will say, my search history is not that weird. I mean, I watch VTubers, and I watch reaction videos, and I kind of just keep up with world events, and I watch comedy, so I don't know if the bad search history comes into play, but you know, everything else I think is pretty spot on.
Sorry, Santa has a special gift for you. Ah yes, here it is. Merry Christmas. Man.
Okay, so I'm guessing that the name of this app is Wizz. And the only thing I can say is all I can think of when I hear that is pee. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard the phrase of like, oh, I'm gonna go take a whiz. I remember hearing it back when I was like a kid. It was something that was thrown around once in a while. So you're meaning to tell me they made a child's dating app with the name of piss or pissing? That's so weird. And we haven't even really gotten into the video yet.
And made horrors beyond your comprehension. Now I know what you are probably thinking. A dating app for children? There's gotta be more to that, right? That can't be it. We're not at that level yet, right?
It's been compared to Tinder, but for young teens. Wizz is an app where users as young as 12 years old can swipe and meet new friends randomly.
Hold on a minute. You're telling me that 12-year-old kids are on this dating app or this kids friendship app that's being equated to Tinder? You know how messed up that is? Like, just the concept that a 12-year-old can be on this app alone already gives me the heebie-jeebies.
It can be a minefield.
There's a lot of like weird people on there. They like to ask for
The Canadian Centre for Child Protection says it is
You know, this doesn't really surprise me. The reason I say that is because you have an app that's designated for kids, right? That's naturally going to attract predators, older people, right? And this is not the first time this has happened. Let's take a look at an app from back in my day called Kik. Now, Kik was a app that essentially you could text people on, and it was geared towards more of a younger generation. I don't even know if Kik exists anymore, but it did for a while. And there were predators on Kik, all over Kik. They have predators on there that you can meet through their chat room feature that they have, where basically you join random people anonymously. And actually, I've talked to a buddy of mine, and he was kind of fucking around on there one time, pretending to be a kid and stuff on there. And the amount of predators that he met on there was truly astonishing. I think he said for like every 3 calls or 4 chat rooms that he was in, there was at least a 75% chance that he would land on a predator. So if he was like talking in 4 different chat rooms or had 4 random chats, chances are 3 of them were probably predators. So yeah, this part here does not surprise me in the slightest. It's really sad, it's really messed up, but I'm sadly not surprised by this.
Received more than 180 reports about Wizz in the last year and a half.
So I did a little research and found that Wizz is actually a lot worse than people think it is. And it's also not the first or the last of its kind. In fact, there are shockingly many dating apps for kids out there, or friendship apps, as they like to call themselves. So in this video, we are going to talk about the rising disturbing trend of these friendship apps, and then we're going to actually look at what is happening inside these friendship apps. I actually posted about this on Twitter the other day, and people were like bamboozled that this was actually a real thing.
I follow Shu, and she's so funny. Like,
oh my goodness, it's Smugalana! I'm so happy that I get to see this crossover. So for those of you that don't know, which actually I don't think I've ever talked about the VTubers that I watch on YouTube or Twitch, Smugalana is like my top VTuber that I listen to. I would say it's a toss-up between her and Dragonspit. Granted, their content types are very different. Smugalana is more of just kind of like the yapping, where Dragonspit is kind of like a variety streamer. Like, she'll play video games sometimes, but sometimes she'll do reaction videos. Normally not to stuff that Smugalana reacts to. More like memes or tornado videos and stuff like that. But ultimately, I would say those are like the 2 VTubers I would say I tune into the most. But it's so heartwarming to see Smugalana get featured in a Shoe on Head video. Actually, if I remember correctly, I think Smugalana said in one of her streams that she actually like knows Shoe or has had some like conversations with her in the DMs. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
like sometimes she'll just comment on something and it just blows my mind. Like, how did you find this?
I don't find it. It finds me. There is so much insanity happening on the news every single day. I try to bring you guys the craziest stories, but honestly, it gets hard to keep up. Thankfully, I have an app for that. So before we get into this deep dive, let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor. You all know it, you all love it, Ground News. Today, we didn't have Tinder for kids, okay? We had wholesome gangs on Habbo Hotel and Club Penguin. Whatever happened to getting good old-fashioned groomed on Skype? The main friendship app currently making headlines right now is Wizz. Wizz, the Tinder for kids app, exposes kids to predators. Congress must act. Congress? Half of Congress is probably on this f***ing app. You expect me—
Well, there it is. The Wizz app, the Tinder for kids, exposes kids to predators. What did I say earlier when I talked about Kik? I'm not surprised by any of these headlines. It's really not. It's very simple. Anywhere that adults, predators, can meet kids or contact children, they will be there, especially if they can remain anonymous. Stu brings up a very good point here. Most of Congress is probably in the probably on the app. because, you know, the Epstein list and everything. Anyways, the point of the matter is, you really think Congress is gonna do anything about this? Like, if we talk about Congress just as a whole, they're pretty useless. They never get anything done. And most of the boomers in there don't even understand how the internet works. So, yeah, Shu has a big point here. I don't really think much is gonna happen about this. I mean, if Kik and Tinder back in the day, among other chat rooms, I mean, you can go all the way back to the Chris Hansen days if any of you remember that. If you couldn't solve it back then, they're not going to solve it now.
I believe the government currently protecting Jeffrey Epstein is going to do something about the Jeffrey Epstein app. New York City teens told the Post that Wizz, which is available to users 13 and older, is similar to a dating app in the way you swipe through profiles, and that some underage users are relying on it to arrange hookups with strangers, including adults. It's like Tinder for kids, a 16-year-old high school senior from Manhattan told the Post. Like, literally, when you think of Tinder, that's what it is. Trying to hook up or, like, date. Many of the profile photos are thirst traps, with girls in sports bras and boys posting shirtless selfies. It's marketed as a wholesome app when it's actually not a wholesome app. There have already been multiple arrests across the country of adult.
I just have to stop for a second, okay? You shouldn't have these young kids talking about hooking up under 16 years old. That makes me feel so disgusted. Very disgusted. Okay? So back in my day, right, back when the internet was not as complex as it is, I remember back in the day when YouTube had a 10-minute limit on the videos you could put up on the platform, right? I remember the old days of YouTube and the internet. Back in my day, we were not focused on hookups at that young of an age. It wasn't even really something talked about. I guess you could say this was in the era where stuff like that was starting to happen, but it wasn't like a normal thing. And unfortunately, now we're seeing these young kids talking about hooking up. And it's just gross. You know, it's one thing when you're an adult and, you know, you're doing what you do in your life, right? But for kids, no, this should not be a thing at all. And the fact that they're talking about there being thirst traps and guys being shirtless on this app and stuff, like, it's so weird. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. Currently not in a relationship. And I'm out here talking like I'm a grandma or like a mom or something. But no, I mean, I think that when it comes to kids, there needs to be a level of innocence to a certain age. You know? For me, that would be 18. Once you hit 18, do whatever you want. You know, you're an adult. But up until that point, in my personal opinion, no dating apps for kids, the hooking up conversations, the thirst traps, like, just no, this shouldn't be a thing. This honestly just kind of shows how bad society has gotten over time.
Sexually assaulting teens they met on the app. In Washington, a 23-year-old man was charged with rape earlier this year after meeting up with a 12-year-old girl on Wizz. The victim told police he claimed to be 15. A 19-year-old Marine in Hawaii was charged with sexually assaulting an 11-year-old girl he met on the app. And a 27-year-old Chicago man is facing charges for sexually assaulting several teenage girls he met on Wizz while also pretending to be a teen. In 2024, Florida's Department of Law Enforcement arrested a 20-year-old man for using a computer to solicit a minor, after investigation revealed he was speaking to a 14-year-old girl on Wizz while purporting to be 16. Okay, so not only like 20-something-year-old adults were pretending to be younger, but younger people were pretending to be older. How the f*** is there no age verification on this app? At Wizz, the safety and well-being of our teen users is our highest priority. Oh, that's good to hear. Wizz uses sophisticated AI safety algorithms for age verification. You what? You're relying on...
So, not only are there a lot of bad incidents that have already been reported based upon people using this app, but on top of that, the app uses AI for verification. I can already tell you how this is going to go. First of all, the AI is not going to be able to verify we're shit. That's the first thing. The second thing is the fact that Wizz still exists even with all of these different news stories. It really goes to show how little people care. It's unfortunate and it's sad, but this is unfortunately what we're dealing with and having to watch. And for me, it's like, I don't understand how apps like this are even on the market still. Especially with that amount of news coverage. It's truly disgusting. It really is. So I think when it comes to this video, I'm gonna end my reaction part to it here because, quite frankly, I kind of know where this goes, right? Obviously, the AI stuff is not gonna work out. And then the rest of the video, from what I've heard from people, because I've talked to people that, do reaction videos and stuff, and friends that just, watch a lot of the same content creators as me, including Shu, is basically she goes on to talk about, how people are, reacting to the whole situation when it comes to the dating apps and stuff, kind of like more of like the public reception. Certain stories with like an older brother. I think one specifically, someone told me was about like an older brother himself. But let's actually sit here and talk about the whole child dating app thing, right? Because that is ultimately what this is covering. And I wanted to give my 2 cents on this. Like, yes, it's a reaction, but at the same time, I want to give my 2 cents on it. First and foremost, Wizz and apps like Wizz that have a lot of media coverage for negative things should not exist. And it's really crazy to me that there's all these different ban bills or online safety act like, bills going through either your parliaments, Congress, whatever. And it's all to quote unquote protect children. But then they allow all these different apps to exist. I remember in the Australia one that was going through, they were allowing apps like Discord, which, by the way, if you don't understand how that's a bad thing, Discord, predators are very, very prevalent on Discord, especially in certain servers. So that's the first thing. And then Roblox, which, if you guys don't know the whole fiasco with Roblox and child predators and everything, then you might want to look that up. But yeah, it's a shit show. And ultimately, it just goes to show that, number one, the governments don't care about it. They're just using the whole we want to protect kids thing to get more control. That's very blatantly obvious. But the fact of the matter is, apps like this still existing on the App Store is very gross. And it goes to show that as adults, right, rather you are choosing to have a kid or you do have kids, you need to pay attention to what your kid is on, social media-wise. And pay attention to these things. Because it's really gross and sick what all these weirdos want to do out there with kids and to kids. So, I guess leaving off on this video, first of all, good work, Shu, on your video, of course. Always bring in the best content, and even though I don't react to the full videos, I react to enough to get the point across, right? I think, unless we're watching a J Daddy thing where there's like literally all different skits, when it comes to videos like this, it's more of like the general idea and whatnot. But yeah, no, when it comes to this, Wizz should just be taken off the store, and other apps like it should be taken off the store. So that's the first thing. Second thing, like I said, Shu, great job with your video. I loved it. I, of course, will watch the rest of the video just as a normal, consuming content standpoint, but I will not be reacting to the rest of it. But there's a lot of other VTubers out there, of course, that have covered this, so I suggest watching like Smugawana and other VTubers like that. I'll probably put a few different links in the description down below for them, so you can go watch their full reactions to it. But yeah, ultimately, this is a big problem, and I'm glad that Shu brought a lot of attention to this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is my thoughts and reaction to the whole child dating app situation. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Of course, I will be putting Shu's channel and video link in the description down below, as well with some other VTubers reacting to this as well. But thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one.